Hey guys, how are ya? It's me, Brad. I'm back again with part 34. This will be a continuation of 33, where I left off was pretty much my house that I had in Colchester. I lost the house and it was put up for sale. This is my testimony, my story. All these videos that you see the title My Story, My Testimony are pretty much in order, and they are, I don't mind my company I have here. They are pretty much in order, describing my journey with God as a born-again Christian. So anyways, like I said, this is a continuation of number 34. Continuation of number 33. And here we go. So anyways, the house got put up for sale. We had to move out. We had to leave. I had to move back into my ex's parents' house, which we were already in, trying to save up for a house. And then we get this house, and it's leased to own, and I think we got it made, and I got a little cocky, little arrogant, and said, God could do anything, and it's not going to shake my faith. Well, that was a big mistake, that's for sure. Next thing you know, you start hearing a stake being put into the ground. That's just unbelievable. Just so you guys know, too, that house that was in part 33, my ex is where we were living, saving up for a home in the beginning. I won't give you the name of the street, but her parents' address number was 229. That was the number. When we moved into the house that we moved into, which was the lease-to-own house that we had high hopes for and fixed it up and all that, that was actually 922 Twin Gables. So kind of funny and ironic how you just twist the numbers around, and there we were in a house that was the reverse of the numbers where we lived. That was just too strange. Another thing that I found kind of just interesting was when we moved into the house, we were fixing up all the bedrooms and all the rooms and everything like that, living room, kitchen. And the one thing that we were not sure of is whose room is whose. I mean, we obviously knew ours because ours was the master suite, but we didn't know with the children what we should do. So this is just a little side note just to make you guys laugh. So anyways, as I was cleaning the vents in one of the rooms and washing it, and it needed to be taken apart and taken right out. So I took it right out so I could clean it properly because they were pretty dirty. And I did that. I pulled it right out. And when I pulled it right out, I couldn't believe it was behind the vent. It was actually a SpiderMan figurine that was inside the vent. And that was just kind of comical because at that time my son was 6 years old and he was into Spider-Man like you wouldn't even believe. He loved Spider-Man. So I just thought, you know what, that's kind of a funny sign. So I ended up making that room my son's room. That was the deciding factor of that being there. I was like, this has got to be meant to be for this room to be my son's room. So that's what I did. But let's get back to the story now. So anyways, here I am. I was still working at the dealership. We had to pack up all our stuff. We had to leave. We had to go back to our ex-in-laws. I was very unhappy. I was very miserable, depressed. I'm sure the ex was too. We put so much into this place. Our heart, blood, and guts. I can't even tell you guys. I know I have videos of it. I don't know if I have pictures of it. But I do have videos of it, of how it looked before and after. If I can put it together somehow and figure out how you do that crap, maybe I can because it was on VHS tapes at the time. That's when you had the big recorder on your shoulder, the big VHS tape. So I still have those tapes, but I think I have to put them onto DVDs, and then you got to go from there. So I don't know. It's a long ways before I get to that process. But these are true stories. We moved back to the ex-in-laws. We lived there for a while. Didn't know what to do. Very upset. In sales, which I was doing, which was car sales, it was very hard to talk to people, deal with people, because it's very upsetting. You know, like I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to sell a car. I just lost my house. I don't want to. The interest was not there. And the thing is, I got to make a living. I got 2 kids. I had my daughter Bianca, who was 3 at the time, and I got to keep. I'm dad. I got to keep working. I got to keep living. I got to keep going on, even though life's been flipped upside down again. Humbling experience. It was like, man, I made a mistake again, and doggone it, I cost my family the whole house. This is insane. It's like the devil had a little hook on me. He knew that when I was doing good and being obedient, being strong, and following God's word, and just doing everything I was supposed to do, which arrived from my 5 Alive that I put in my videos all the time, which is pray, go to church, tithes, be obedient, and read your Bible. I was doing those all the time, but the devil always knew how to put temptation in front of me and to just flip me upside down all the time. I'd be doing really, really good, and then all of a sudden, it's like he showed up at my door with the magic genie. Ooh, here's the magic genie, Mr. Wilson. What would you like? What is it that you would like to have? Who is it that you want to be with? What would you like to do? Just tell me. And you rub this 3 times, and poof, there it is. And poof, there it was every single time. And just like a steak in front of you, and you're not supposed to eat it, or the apple like Adam and Eve, give in to temptation. Well, this was a very learning experience this time, because I lost something very grand that God gave me. And it was my own fault, and I had nobody to blame but myself. So anyways, I was very upset, and then I didn't know what to do. And I was at work, and going to work continually. And this went on for, guys, I want to say at least probably 6 months or so. And what happened was, as I was at work, I got a phone call from the owner, and he wanted to know how things were going, how I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And I think he could hear it in my voice that I didn't sound right. I didn't sound good. My spirit sounded low. And he asked me what was wrong. And I told him, I lost my house. This is what these guys were doing. One guy was not paying the other guy, and now we got to get out and all this stuff. And we were in the process of getting out and being out and almost done. And I got to start over again. And it's hard. And he was very upset, because he was like, oh, well, this is crazy. They're strong-arming you. He's like, you're my number 1 guy, and you've been my top guy for a long time, and I need you to be successful in who you are, because you're a hard worker and you're a good salesman. He goes, we can't have this. We got to change this around. He said, do this. Get you and your wife and come to my office tomorrow. We're going to talk, and we're going to see what we can do. So I was kind of like, skeptical. I didn't really know what was going to happen, what was going to be said. I was surprised he even said all that. But I went with the flow, went home, told the ex, let's go. I went to his office the next day. When I got to the office the next day, it was quite interesting, because I've been praying constantly. Even though this happened to me, I was on my knees asking God for forgiveness, and on my knees asking God to help me out, help me find a place, direct me, forgive me. I learned from this. I'm not going to let this hold me down. I'm just going to keep doing what I know to do. And I learned my lesson, right? So here I am now in my boss's office. He comes out, sits down. He wanted to know the situation again, so we told him about everything again. And then he basically says to us, to me and my ex, okay, this is what we're going to do. I want you guys to go out and find yourself a home. And I'm going to hold the mortgage for you. what did I just hear? Huh? You know, like when a dog looks at you and you say, come here, boy, you want a treat? Mm-hmm. That's what I felt like I looked like. Our expressions must have been priceless. Because he said, I'm going to hold a mortgage for you. And I'm going to hold a mortgage for you up to $150,000. What? $150,000? I couldn't even believe my mind. I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. I couldn't even believe what was happening. I don't know what I was expecting, guys. I really don't. I went in there and I didn't know what I was going to hear, what was going to happen. But this was like the very last of the last of the last. I don't know. I couldn't believe it. At first I was in shock. She was that shocked. I know I had water in my eyes. Now I had tears in my eyes. I ain't going to lie. Yeah, I'm a man. I cry just like you should cry. I mean, we have emotions. My girlfriend, my ex-wife at the time, she was crying. We both couldn't believe it. We thanked him very much. We said, okay, we're on it. We'll start looking right away and see what we can find, because we had to find a home for our family. And when we left the office, we were totally in shock. We kept saying it over again. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Can you believe this? Can you believe it? We were just in shock all the way home. We could not believe what was happening. I couldn't wait to tell my mom and dad, which I did. And they were in shock again. They couldn't believe what they were hearing and what was going on with their son. Right away, we started looking. There was a book at the time. I can't remember it. I don't know if it was it was on homes. You can find homes for sale and stuff like that. I forget what it was called, the title of the book actually. But we were looking for homes. Kept working, kept going, At home we're looking, at work I was looking, she was looking, we were trying to find a home. Found a bunch of different stuff, looked at a bunch of different stuff. And then I started to find out that for the money that was going towards the house, a lot of the houses were, they needed work, big time. So we're out looking for houses. And as we're looking for houses and everything, I started realizing that the money that we had was, don't get me wrong, guys, it's a lot of money, okay? But I just noticed that the amount of money that was to get a house, the houses on the market, were kind of older, and needed a lot of work. So if you bought a house for $100,000, 110, somewhere around there, you're going to spend at least 30 grand on renovations, all kinds of renovations. And that money can be gobbled up just like a bucket of chicken surrounded by 50 people so fast you wouldn't even believe it. So I was a little frustrated, a little upset because, I don't know, never done this before, right? I remember I'm just coming from apartments, you know what I mean? I didn't have a house before. Mom and dad had a house, but I didn't have a house before, so I didn't know what this was about, this experience. But it was getting a little frustrating because I couldn't find nothing. And then one day out of the blue, I'm at work, late at night. The ex calls me up and says, hey, you got to check out this house. And I'm like, why? What's up? It's brand new, blah, 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 blah. It's in Amherstburg, and it's 155 to 160, I believe it was that she said. Well, right away, I was like, yeah, okay, right, brand new, okay. So I told her, I said, nah, they're just, they're fake. You don't listen to it. It's like anything, like with sales. It's like a fishing line with a worm. They're just trying to reel you in and then to get you in, and then everything that you hear and talk about is not what's in the advertisement. So she told me about it, and I checked it out, and I seen it, and then it said everything that it said, brand new, blah, 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 in Amherstburg, all this stuff, right? And I thought, well, it's at least worth the chance of checking it out. So made our appointment. We went to Amherstburg. We went to go check it out. We checked it up. We pulled up to a house. Went in the house. Had all these signs, sale and all this stuff, whatever. Open house and stuff like that. So we went inside to check it out. And we met this lady by the name of Teresa. And we got in there. And she was from Remax. And I'm looking around at the house. And I'm like, wow. Everything's brand new. Like completely brand new. Everything. Carpet, paint, walls, doors, doorknobs, chandelier, everything is brand new. I see all the rooms. I see the basement. I'm done. I'm sold instantly. And the amount was $155. So I thought for sure my boss could come up another $5,000. I mean, he already gave me 150, so why not another $5,000, right? So I basically was sold. And she said, "How do you guys feel?" And my ex says, "Oh, well, it's beautiful. It's nice and everything, but we'll think about it. We've got some more places to look at, this and that, this and that." And I looked at her like, have you lost your mind? I never said that, but that's what I thought. And I said to Teresa, "Teresa, can you give me 1 minute, please? Just give me 1 minute, please." So I went downstairs to my ex and I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Oh, well, we got a lot of places to look at, and you don't like long distance driving, and I figured we should still shop around and look around." And I said, No. I said, "The next couple that walks in this house and they have a family and they have kids, this house is gone." Let's go it. I'll take it. She's like, "Well, I didn't think you liked the drive." I said, "I'll do the drive. I don't care. This is a brand new home for my family. Let's go." So she's like, "Okay, great. That's awesome." So we're excited. We're like two little kids at Christmas time, right? Went back upstairs, told Teresa it's a done deal. So we had to sign some paperwork. And then she basically said, she has to get a deposit from us. And I said, "Well, that wouldn't be a problem. Just let me go back and talk to my boss, and I'm sure he'll send you a deposit tonight, tomorrow morning, ASAP. That won't be a problem." Because he already said he would hold this mortgage. So he knows what this is about. Sure enough, I went back to work the next day, told my boss about it. It was only a couple weeks, guys, maybe 3 weeks that it took us to find the house. So, guys, I basically sat down with the owner of the dealership and said, "Hey, look, I got a house. We found a house yesterday. We got it for the amount that you said, et cetera, et cetera." And he was shocked. Pulled his glasses to the end of his nose. "Well, I don't understand how you got this. How did you got a house? Well, wow, you guys did a really good job, and I can't believe, holy cow, look at this. This is a brand new house, and this and that, and this and that." And I was like overly excited. And then I mentioned to him that I needed a deposit. He said, "No problem. You go tell the controller how much you need, and we'll get that sent over to him right away in the company name." Now, going back to the house, when we were having the house shown to us, one thing that was really quite funny is that as we were in the house, the lady says, I said, "Yeah, we want the house. This is a done deal. Yeah, let's go. Let's get this rolling." She says to me, "Okay, all right, okay. But one thing though, take a look out the window there." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, take a look out the window there." So I take a look out the window and I'm like, next door, right? And I see a hole in the ground. And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I don't understand." She goes, "Well, this house here that we're in, this is the demo. This house is actually sold already, and the owners are taking possession soon. Your house is going to be next door, that hole, and it's going to take 3 months to build." I'm getting a brand new house. Bradley Wilson, who's lived in an apartment since he was 15, 16 years old. Apartment to apartment to apartment. I'm getting a brand new house built from the ground up, from the dirt up. Plus I get to pick all the stuff that we want to pick, the colors, the counters, the window design, the windows, the doorknobs, the door. I couldn't believe you guys. This was a blessing from God. This was truly the works, the hand of God. This was not luck. This was not coincidence. God's hand made all this happen. God's hand brought all this to me. The owner, Teresa, the house, everything. And what's that I hear? Hold on. Do you guys remember what I said to you? Do you remember in part 33, what did my mother say? That other house that we had? It's a nice house, but I believe this house is it's a stepping stone. It's a step up. There's something coming that's even bigger and better. Why is my mother always right? Why is she always right? She was right. She said it. She called it. And that's what it was. I got a brand new house. Yes, it wasn't as big as the other one, as old and rickety, and so much property and work to do, which we still loved. But this was a brand new home. for my children, for my ex at the time. That's what this was. And it was absolutely overwhelming. And I'm going to try to see if I can find video pictures if I have any, and I'll add it to the end of this video. But that's what it was, guys. That's the way it was. That's how God works in your life. When you have God's favor, when you have God's blessings, when you're doing everything for God that you're supposed to be doing, that's the main thing. Obedient, humble to his word, doing what he wants you to do, not what Brad Wilson wants to do. He will bless you. He will bless you. And that's what this was, and that's what he did. And I thank him for it each and every day. And I remember taking possession of the house because we had to wait 3 more months at the ex-in-laws before it was done. We kept coming by every day, every night, checking it out, watching, seeing how they're building it, how it's being structured and built up. And I took videos of it, and I got them at home. VHS tapes. Yes, I do. And it was just amazing. And then when it was all done, it was time to move in. I remember moving in. I had the key, and the key was so shiny and so brand new. I never had a key so shiny and so brand new to go into my own home. We had central air. I had a backyard, a front yard. This was my property. The house is in my name. It was a deed in my name. I never even heard of a word called a deed. Deed? Wow. Homeowner. That's Brad Wilson. Couldn't believe it. It was amazing. But this was God. And I thank God every day for my home. He gave me the home and allowed me to be able to be the homeowner of this home. Absolutely amazing. And I've been in this home now for 14 years. It's just unbelievable, guys. So that's that story. Yes, an amazing, awesome story. My testimony, my story, true story. God blesses you when you do what he says, guys. And that's why I decided to do these videos and put them out there, because I want you guys to inherit and enjoy the blessings God has for you. Give your life over to him with your whole heart. Ask him for forgiveness of your sins, because he will forgive you. And he'll come in your life and he'll change your life like it's never, you'll never be the same. You'll never be the same. Your life will never be the same. And you'll be in awe all the time. And will we be perfect? No, we're not perfect Christians. We make mistakes. But it's our job to get up from the mistakes and not make the same mistake again. It's our job to try not to make mistakes and to follow his word, and what he says in his word, we got to try to do. So I'm going to end this video with that, and I will be preparing my next video, number 35, a continuation of this one. And yes, I made another mistake again, guys. And I fell short of God again, and I almost lost this house. I almost lost this house. I had to shut it down, shut off the lights, get out of it, go live at the in-laws again, and save up again, because we were behind in mortgage payments. We were behind in everything. And again, I look at myself for the fault that I did again that got me in the situation I was in. So I will continue in part 35. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless you. Wish you all the best. And we will see you next time. And remember what I always say. Once you go Jesus, you will never go back. God bless you guys. Bye for now.